Is it time for recess yet? I'm so glad you found time to join us here on the Childcare Directors Chair, where Erica Sacoccio shares her best practices that she's refined through her passion of directing childcare centers over the last 23 years. From parenting interaction, systems to save you time, money, and stress, to profitability. She shares it all from the Childcare Directors Chair.
Hello from Rhode Island. You are tuned into the Childcare Directors Chair, and I am so happy that you put aside a few minutes of your time today to spend with me. It means so very much. And as a childcare owner or director or childcare leader, I know you don't have a lot of extra time, so it means the world to me that you have, decided to spend it with me. So we're going to hop right into it today. I really wanted to talk about leadership. It's such a word that gets tossed around so much, and I really wanted to, just dig in a little deeper. So I feel like leadership is not just about managing a team or making decisions, but it's also about having a vision and inspiring others to believe in that vision. Because visionary leaders have that ability to see beyond the present and imagine a better future. And for most of you in the childcare field or early education or school age folks, you have that power. And you have the power to motivate and guide your team towards achieving greatness. And even if you're a lead teacher, maybe you're not in charge of the school, you have the ability to do that for your peers, do that out in your greater community, and certainly show what it means to be a visionary leader to your children. So how do you become a visionary leader? What is this thing that we keep talking about? Well, here's a few key steps that I think can help you unlock your potential if you feel like you haven't really reached those goals that you really want to in your career. The first thing is you want to cultivate a clear vision. So to become a visionary leader, you need to have a clear vision of what exactly it is you want to achieve. For me here at the podcast, I really want to help inspire as many of you to keep going. So many people have left our field in the last couple years, and not as many folks are lining up to join our field. And that makes me a little nervous and really honestly a little sad. And so I wanted to figure out what way can I try to help others stay engaged in what it is that we do and really hear that you are important, because you really are, and you don't hear it enough. So that was my vision for our podcast. And I want to be able to help you take that time to reflect on your goals and your aspirations. So what is the bigger picture? And what impact do you want to make? And once you have those clear vision and communicate that with your team and inspire them to join you on the journey. So maybe write it down and share that with the folks that you're working with and say, here is where we are now, and here's where I would like to go, and what do you guys think about that? The next thing is you want to foster innovation and creativity. Visionary leaders are not afraid to think outside of the box and encourage your team to be innovative and creative in their approach as well. When you do that, you create an environment that fosters experimentation and rewards new ideas, and also embraces the change to be open to different perspectives. And I know change is scary for some, and some love change. I'm kind of a person who loves change, but there are members on my team that absolutely would be very happy if nothing ever changed. And you want to remember that innovation is the key to staying ahead of a rapidly changing world. And for those of you who've been in the field a long time, many, many things have changed. And not just talking about COVID, but just everything has changed, from parents' expectations to the way that we onboard staff, to the way that we send our message out to the community. All those things have changed in the last, 15, 20 years, some of us even longer than that. So we have to really think about how are we staying ahead and continuing to motivate those around us and sparking that leadership within your program. Because again, if you do everything, you're going to burn out. And it's really important to make sure that you're growing your team. And I talk about that a lot through many of my podcasts. And, I don't do it to sound redundant, but I do it because I really mean it. And the more that you can really feed those folks around you, the better leader you are. And the more opportunities you have to step back and let them lead. I'm not sure if you all have heard the story of the geese, but that's a wonderful one. And if you haven't heard it, do your research on it. Take a look at the story of the geese and how they support each other. And when you are a leader and you show your folks you're leading by example, your actions speak louder than words. So many times I hear leaders that are talking about what they're going to do, but they don't follow through. So make sure you're not one of them. And of course, we're human and we all have great intentions. But at the end of the day, are we following up and are we following through? And when you do, you show your team what it means to be passionate, to be dedicated, and to be resilient. Because God knows we really need to be resilient in this field nowadays. So be that first one to take the risks and step outside of your comfort zone. And your actions will inspire others to do the same. And I know that I have done that with so many in my circle. And I hope I've done a little bit of that for you. And if I haven't, I hope you continue to tune in daily. And hopefully I can ignite some of that passion in you and excite you to do more, because I know you're tired, but tune in to what you really, really love. That's really going to help you set yourself, again, ahead of the pack. You also need to have that emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is such an important skill for leaders, especially for visionary ones. You have to understand the emotions and the needs of your team members, and it doesn't always look the same. All of your team members are different individuals with different needs, different goals, different aspirations, and different places and phases in their life. So you need to empathize with the challenges that they may be having and provide your support when needed. And also, it's okay to set your own boundaries as well, because sometimes that line can get blurry. So by developing emotional intelligence, you'll create a positive and inclusive work environment where everyone feels valued and motivated. Because I do hear so many of you talk about, the folks that are coming in, they're not motivated, they're not engaged, because maybe they're not excited. So that is your job as a leader, is to get them excited about the work that they will be doing with you. And sometimes it may be not with you. Sometimes I motivate people right out of my program, and that's okay, because for me, that's important for me to grow folks. And I would say, in the 20 something years that I have worked with people, I have watched people move on to starting their own businesses, to move on to being educators in the public school department, winning Teacher of the Year awards for their entire state. I mean, it's really been so amazing to see that and to have that little piece. I mean, of course they did all the work, but just that little piece that maybe you planted that seed or you cultivated it with a little bit of water, a little bit of love. So, think about how you can do that as well. And then, of course, communicating effectively is paramount for any leader. And you have to clearly articulate your ideas and your expectations to your team and not be the only one talking. So you have to listen actively and encourage that open dialogue and be transparent about your goals and the progress. And when you make goals, make sure they're smart goals, that they're goals that you can track and measure to see how you are doing, and, celebrate those little wins along the way. And it's okay if you have a setback, and it's okay to let your team know it's okay to have a setback. You have to have that effective communication because it builds trust and it fosters collaboration, and it enables your team to work together towards a common vision. And we talk about this a lot, and I know you believe it. That's why you tune in on a regular basis. As visionary learners and leaders, we never stop learning together. We stay curious and we seek opportunities for our personal and professional growth. So invest in your own development and encourage your team to do the same. And then embrace that feedback and learn from both successes and failures. And remember that growth is a lifelong journey. Becoming a visionary leader is not an overnight process. It requires dedication, perseverance, and a commitment to personal growth. But with the right mindset and taking some action on a few of these key steps, you definitely can unlock that potential that you have inside of you to inspire others to follow your vision. So, are you ready? Let's get out there and become visionary leaders in the early childhood and school age field. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.
Well, all the cute little kiddos have been picked up and it's time to go home. And that'll do it for another episode of the Childcare Directors Chair. Please leave a review so Erica knows the information is helping you to manage and improve your childcare centers. Remember to subscribe to get the latest episode from Erica's Childcare Directors Chair.